Hi there, and welcome to part 3 of my full collectibles walkthrough for Celeste. Now up to chapter 3, Celestial Resort. In this video we'll be finding all non-mandatory collectibles, including all red strawberries, the B-side cassette, and the secret heart. I will assume you've already beaten the game and have a good understanding of the movement options available to you. That said, I will not be using any advanced tech to collect anything, so that this guide is beginner friendly. As this is only focused on collectibles, I'll be speeding through the rest of the chapter where there is nothing to call out. If you are interested in a full walkthrough, please let me know in the comments down below. There are timestamps to help you find any specific collectible you may be missing, and I'll be using the order of the berries as shown in the pause menu, so you can see there the grey bars at the bottom of the screen, so hopefully it'll be easy to navigate if you are only missing one or two things. So that said, let's jump into it. Now, this is a long chapter, and it's one of the chapters where the difficulty really spikes up. So, prepare to be frustrated. So the first berry we can collect is actually really obvious, and it's down there. You probably got it in your casual playthrough, although it is a bit tricky to just time your dash and your jumps over these dust bunnies. That is berry number 1. The next berry is actually a bit sneaky. So if we continue up here, but in fact turn left and come back on ourselves, we can see berry number 2 up here. Now this berry is actually quite hard to figure out how to get. If you watched the guide for the old site collectibles, or have already got the old site secret heart, you'll know the trick here. What you need to do is dash up to get your dash back through the screen transition. Right, so when you transition through the screen, you regain your dash. So you can see my hair goes from blue to red. So what we need to do here, jump up to this platform using the screen transition, drop down, and then we can collect berry number 2. Here's a trick on how, and that screen transition is a useful trick to how to get this key faster, by the way. So on this screen we just activate that. Now this screen contains berry number 3, and it's the first screen that people probably really struggle with as you go through the chapter, so just make your way through it. It's difficult to miss. So if you're happy to dash or wave dash or hyper dash like that, you can collect the berry like that. However, the intended way, so if you dash this way, then this way, dash onto this bit, just time your dashes here, and then you can see the berry will be down here, and then you just grab it and you dash back up to this block. So just wait for your moment, wait for these dust bunnies to get out of your way, jump down and grab it. You can also dash up to this block if it's a bit safer for you, and that is how you grab that berry. But if you're happy to wave dash or extended hyper dash, the alternative route is that. That is berry number 3. If we dash over here, now you have to come this way to collect the key, but instead of going and grabbing the key first, we're going to come over to the left through to a secret passage, use this spring and jump onto the side of these to grab them and get off them so that you can get them out of the way and dash through. So this is the next berry to collect, so dash onto this crumble block, jump onto the wall here, dash, I was going to say the easy way to do this, jump onto the crumble block and then dash up like that so that the crumble block has time to respawn, and you can collect the berry like that. So if you jump over here and then dash up like that, the crumble block will be back before you land. So that's probably the easiest way to get that berry. Then before we move on, so that was berry number 4, before we move on, we've actually got another secret passage up the top here. So if we jump over here, fall down to collect the dash refill crystal, drop down here, carefully jump over there and jump off this wall there, we can find another room with dash refill crystals. Just dash your way through, and finally we come out to the balcony and we get berry number 5. And then thankfully we're given a nice passage to come through along the bottom like that. Now we just continue the chapter as per usual, where we need to collect the key, Okay, so in this screen we need to be careful. So we need to come up onto this platform as you normally would. And then from here, be careful not to dash. So we need to jump over here, jump up there, jump onto the back of this, and then jump off so that we've got a dash and we can jump up here. If you don't do that, you will end up at the bottom and you won't be able to make it up to the top here, even with a dash from the bottom there. So make sure you save your dash as you go. For this berry, we use the dash crystals as they're sort of outlined, but you just need to be careful here and time your upright dashes like that, and then jump off and collect berry number 6, which you can see down the screen. So on this next screen, we've got another winged berry. As in other chapters, if you dash on a screen with the winged berry, it will disappear. So what you need to do is make your way through the screen without dashing. So this is probably the easiest way. Just be careful of these fronds or little worms. If you move, you can land on them once, but if you move away, it will spawn some dust bunny, so you can't move back. So just be careful, make your way around the screen, and you can grab that berry like that, which was berry number 7. So we need to come this way. This is one of the harder berries to collect in the whole game, to be honest. So with this, probably the easiest thing to do is just walk off, and then grab the wall, and then when that's up there, you need to jump up here, and then you can come and collect the berry in the next screen. So take the berry with you up into the next screen. That is not straightforward, so that might take a bit of time to get. That was berry number 8. And then with this screen, before we go to the right, we actually come up here to this secret passage up to the top left. Jump over here. We can make our way down through this screen with some carefully timed dashes. Now this berry shows an interesting thing. So this berry is not collecting yet, and that is because this part is not deemed to be safe. So you need to get the berry back up to the top. So the way you do that is jump onto this crumble block. You can dash, or you can just jump. Dash up here. Again, be careful of those fronds, and then as soon as you make it up to this platform, you'll collect berry number 9. Then on this next bit, what you need to do is jump over here without using your dash and die like that. Nope. So just jump onto these sides so that you've got some space. You've got some sides safe for your return journey, because you need to go back round once. So you jump up here, jump onto the back here, and then jump carefully onto these, and then you'll end up on the back of that, and then jump over to this bit of ground. Now, if you want to continue with the chapter, you can either retry, and that will clear out the fronds, or you can actually just come up here again, and it will reset the screen for you. So if you want to not die too often, that's the way to do it. But yeah, so just be careful as you go through. That was berry number 10. Now there's a little block here you might not have noticed on your first go round. If you drop down, this is quite a tough little berry to collect. So what you want to do is do a little tiny jump, do a little tiny jump and dash over that dust bunny, and then you need to get out as well. So wait for it to move so that it's coming at you. Yeah, you've got a little bit of leeway there. And then collect it once you get out, and that is berry number 11, and the very last berry of this checkpoint as it happens. So there's nothing more to collect in this screen. And this is the start of the next checkpoint. And this is huge mess. Now, this is where we need to be a little bit careful. So there are different ways to complete this chapter. So depending on which route you take first, you will get different screen layouts. And what I mean by that is you can see the purple, the green, and the brown blocks in this screen, which we call the towels. These are towels, these are books, and these are boxes. Well, as you go around and clear them out by hitting the switches, those will get tidied away, and actually they'll be removed from certain screens later on. And so you might end up with different looking screens from me if you follow a different route. It's fine. Every screen is completely finishable, and you can collect every berry, but just bear that in mind. I'm going to be following what I hope is the berry route, so that my berries stay in the right order. So we'll speak to Oshiro, and then I think we come up this way. I apologize if I get the berry route wrong. So we just want to come straight up here first, and die instantly. So you can see, or you can actually see a glimpse of the secret heart there, but actually this is of no use to us at the moment, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about him either. So we've got our next berry down at the bottom here. This is a tough berry to collect. I don't want to use neutral jumps because they're quite tough if you don't know them. So the way to collect this is to time a dash and then time your jumps like that. So again, time a dash. So go down to the bottom, and that is berry number 12, by the way. So wait for the dust bunny on the right to get out the way, climb up a bit, and then climb up a bit here, and then dash your, and then jump and climb your way up. So that's a tough berry. So yeah, that isn't made any easier with any route you take, by the way. So that's just always a tough berry. Berry number 12. The next berry to collect, berry number 13, is over on this side of the screen, which I have collected it incorrectly. I'm not doing this right. I apologize. You can collect it like that. That seems quite hard. I'm trying to think if there's an easier way to collect this berry. I'm not really sure that there is. So what you want to do is jump onto this wall, but only jump onto the top of it. Jump over. And then make sure you jump and land on the bottom of that wall. And collect the berry like that. Yeah, so that is a tough berry. It might take you a bit of time. That's one way of getting it. Just land on the top of the wall to leave yourself space on the bottom. But good luck with that. That's berry number 13. Very unlucky berry indeed. This clears away the books, as you can see. So now the books will be gone from our next set of screens. We need to go see Mr. Oshiro down here. So next we want to go not bottom right there, not that way either, sorry. Top right, well, not quite top right, that was top right, but almost top right. Skip the cutscene with Theo. Nothing on this screen to collect. Right, so this screen has a winged berry, but it's actually trapped in a little case, so you can't reach it directly. So what you need to do is carefully make your way over here by grabbing onto these walls, and then dash onto that wall, which then it agitates the berry and sets it off, and then you can collect it as it flies up. Nothing to collect on this screen. So on this screen, let me just start again. So on this screen, completely like normal. So dash to the right there, jump on there, climb our way up, and then what you'll notice here is there's a strawberry in the water here. So just dash through it like that, and then it wants you to reach safe ground again. So if you come all the way around, you can reach safe ground there. Now, here we need to be careful. So what we do is we hit the switch as you'd expect. Oh, that by the way was berry number 15. So we hit the switch as you'd expect, but then you'd normally go up to the top left to exit this area. However, what you want to do for the heart is actually come up this secret route here. Work your way around, and then this brings you back into the bits of the chapter you've already done. So we just jump our way up this screen. You might be wondering why we're backtracking. We'll find out in a second. So we make our way around. Ignore these guys. They're not scary. Right. So the reason we've made that backtrack, if we come up this secret bit, we find the heart. Now, if we'd have tried to do that before, it would have actually been blocked by towels. But because the switch we hit actually tidied up the towels, it moved them out of the way and we could make our way. So we need to do that backtracking. And we can collect our secret heart, which is scattered and lost. And then you can go to the left here to actually to be given another way out of this screen. And then finally, in this long checkpoint, we've got, oh no, excuse me, we need to talk to Mr. Oshiro before we do anything. Then very last thing, we've got to go through the boxes. So there's nothing on this screen to collect. Now there's nothing on this screen to collect, but be careful because we do need to exit the screen through this right-hand exit. Oh, I'm dead. There's normally I'm used to there being some things down below there. Right, so we jump through here and then exit to the right. That brings us to this berry room. You need to be very careful. You can see all the fronds are everywhere. So make sure that however you reach this berry, you leave yourself a route to get back. So however you want to do it. So I might try and show you one that's a bit more sensible. So if you dash up here, that gives you a bit more control to pick which side of this block you want to land on. Then you want to land on the front edge of this. You can climb up here and then dash here to land on this side of the block, this side of the block, and then you can come down. You know, there's there's quite a few different ways you can make your way around there, but that is berry number 16. Then we come down here as you normally would, and just collect, make your way through using these dash crystals. Now on this screen, we've got our next berry, so you just need to be a bit careful. Climb your way through here. Again, make sure you only stand on one edge of these blocks so that you've got a route to come back. Carefully use your dash because you do need to make your way back onto the safe ground in order to collect that berry like that. That was berry number 17. Now finally, we've got one berry left in this checkpoint. So normally you take that key in the middle and go up to the top left and unlock and have a word with Mr. Oshiro. But before we do that, we need to jump into the previous screen where there was a bridge here, if you recall. So now all the things have been tidied away. We have access to this little area down in the bottom, and we can use that to escape and get out. And you can either get back up normally, or you can actually take this route here, which gets you up into this, back up into the main screen. And it's much tidier now that we've done our duty. Helped out Mr. Oshiro. And that is the checkpoint. So that is 18 berries so far in the chapter. You see this was a long chapter. So nothing to collect on this screen. Just make your way up however you want. Nothing to collect on this screen. So this screen has one of the harder berries in the checkpoint. So you can see that berry in the top. Well, what we need to do is very carefully jump along this bit to again leave ourselves a route back, because what we need to do is do a round trip, and the harder part of this is doing it on these platforms. So the first time you come up here, try and land on the far right hand side of this platform. Same with that platform. Dash through, land in the safe ground that you left yourself, dash up and land just on the very edge there, and just on the very edge there. That's not easy to do. It will take you a while. If this is something that you've not managed yet, don't worry about it. It will come eventually. And then we do need to make our way onto safe ground over here in order to even collect the berry. So that is quite an arduous berry, berry number 19. It might be one that you decided to skip on your casual playthrough, and I wouldn't blame you at all. So there's nothing to collect on this screen. So we come down here. Now on this screen we've got quite a tough berry as well. So time it so that that guy's out of your way. Jump onto this wall. Now what you need to do is jump up. Excuse me. So jump up to grab the berry, and then jump out of there, and then land very quickly on the ground there. And again, you need to be careful to leave yourself enough space to be able to make it over. And then finally the berry collects when you make it all the way to the other edge of the screen. So again, another tough berry, berry number 20. So before we tackle this tough room, we've got a few berries to collect down the bottom. These are hard berries as well. So you need to time yourself to and the problem with these berries is you need to make it back in order for them to collect. So there's berry number 1, so that's quite tough. And then we've got the same thing again, berry number 2, and again you just need to be careful to leave yourself some space to make it back. And you need to do this without dying, of course. So make sure you land on the right hand side here. Use your dash to jump round, land in the left hand side of there, and then time your final jump to get out without hitting those dust bunnies. There's nothing to these rooms, just show you other screens you've already beaten, so don't worry about those. So now we need to collect the key, which is everyone's favorite screen in this chapter. You can just do it like that, or however you see fit. However, you probably saw this in your casual playthrough, or if this is your first playthrough, I'm sure you're noticing it now. But we've got another glowing screen to our left, and we have the cassette for this chapter. So we need to dash up to this block, wait for this block to spawn, dash up here, wait for this block to spawn, dash against this wall, drop down. If you just hug the wall and drop down, you'll be fine there, and come up through and collect the cassette accordingly. And we are transported back here, and then we can come up to the top and make your way back around and use the key to get out. And those were all the berries in the checkpoint, by the way. I didn't call them out as I went, but those were berries 20 through 22 and the cassette. Nothing to collect on this screen. So now we're on to what is a lot of people's hardest checkpoint. And we do have a few berries to collect. Nothing on this screen. Nothing on this screen. Oh, I'm dead. Nothing on this screen. Right. We do have a berry on this screen, and this is actually quite a tough berry to collect. So what you need to do is bop Mr. Oshiro on the head to give yourself a dash to get over that wall of dust bunnies. And the timing is hard. So the timing, as soon as you get hit by lightning, basically. So before he does his charge, he kind of fires lightning across the screen. As soon as it comes, as soon as Madden gets hit by it, you effectively want to be jumping. But it is difficult. One thing that can help with this, if you jump too early, you can dash down onto Oshiro's head. So it's quite easy to jump too early, and if you dash down onto his head, you will get that extra dash that you need. But yeah, this is definitely something that will take a bit of practice. Yeah, you see there, so I missed him, so I jumped too late. If you jump too late, you can dash on him again. You can dash on him as well. And then maybe I should just collect this berry now. I've shown you enough ways how to fail it. Yeah, and there you go. And again, you need to get to safe ground before it will collect. So that's, again, another tough berry. Lots of tough berries in this chapter. And that was berry number 23. Nothing to collect on this screen. Nothing to collect on this screen. Now there is a berry here. So make your way to this bit of the screen, and then what you need to do is come up here, and then you need to jump through here. So because you need to use your dash to get up here in the first place. So don't jump when you're level with it, as obviously you'll go too high. So you want to jump when you're roughly level with that, with the top of the brown block. Yep, so when your head is roughly level with the top of the brown block, you can just jump through it like that. And that is berry number 24. And then when you make your way up to this bit here, we can see the berry floating down at the bottom. If we jump down and dash through, that gives us berry number 25. And that is the end of that level. And that is everything to collect. All 25 red berries, the secret heart, and the B-side cassette. I hope you found that video useful, and that you were able to finish off your collection. This is a difficult chapter with a lot of difficult berries, so if it does get a bit frustrating, move on to something else. You can always come back later. Remember, you can jump to the different checkpoints as well. You don't need to start at the beginning of the level every time. And so with that, I will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next chapter. Cheers.